We filming? We're filming. Guys, do you know what? I always say this, I was about to film another video, but I woke up this morning and I just felt like exposing myself. I don't know why, not in that kind of way, but yeah. There's so much about me which, I don't know, might shock you guys. I feel like I've only come to terms with some of these things in the last year as well. But it also might explain why I'm a bit of a weirdo. Not a bit of a weirdo, an extremely strange being. I feel like you guys know me to a certain extent through my vlogs, stuff that I've chosen to share, even when I do Q&As and stuff, always answering honestly. But behind the surface, peel back some of those onion layers. I have been compared to an onion multiple times on this channel, just because of the layers, you know, the depth. Do you know what? I'm parched and I don't know where I put my water. Where is my water? Where is my water? I have no idea where my water is. Hold on. It was on the windowsill behind the curtain, but okay, let's proceed. One of the things that I've struggled with all of my life, right, when I was a kid, when I was a teen, up until this day, is just being very misunderstood. Not only by people that watch me, or I say watch me, because even back in the day I was being watched by the career that I was in. One of the things that I've always been persecuted for and just very misunderstood is just me, you know? Just being me. I feel like I'm one of those people that's never fit in with society. To be honest, I actually have no interest to either. Yeah, some of the things I'm going to tell you today, you're probably going to think, oh, you're taking the piss, like you're actually taking the piss. And whilst I usually am taking the piss on this channel, you can trust me today that I'm not. I don't understand instructions, and when I say that, I know it's a bit of a general statement. You're probably thinking, what kind of instructions? What are you? All of them, okay? All of them I just don't understand. I've always had this problem since I was a child. Let me explain. My brain works in a very, very different way to most people. And for most of my life, I have been very, very misunderstood and actually persecuted for it. Especially when I was in sport, it really mentally damaged me a lot. Because I always thought, you know, like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I understand what everyone else understands? I've always been told I'm stubborn, right? You're stubborn, you're impatient, which I am extremely impatient. That's why you don't understand instructions or direction. It's nothing to do with that. Guys, it's got to the point that even like with brands that I work with, like with Vivo Life, for example, I film a lot of their commercials, etc. And when they send me a script or instruction of how to do something, how to present something, I don't know what the word is. I was gonna say decompose. That's not really the word I was going for. Similarly, if I read any kind of letter that has instructions on it, I just do not understand what's going on. And it's not because I'm dumb, I'm actually highly intelligent. I've always been persecuted and punished for this in many different ways, from teachers, lecturers, parents, coaches in the past. It always came across as, oh, Miles is just stubborn. He has to do things in his own way. It's really not that. It's just that the only way I can work and function and create is if I only listen to the voices in my head, in my own head, you know? This never made sense to me my whole life until, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with human design. My girlfriend's very into it and understands it very well. I don't know, if you know about human design, then you know what I'm chatting about. I am one of the most rare ones where, you know, we all have kind of like more left side brain or right side brain or a mixture of both. Based on my human design, you know, which is based on astrology. Is it based on astrology? Birth date, birth time, birth year, all of that kind of stuff. I am 100% right side brain. If you know about human design, then you know what I'm talking about. But there are very few people in this world that are 100% right side brain. This kind of makes sense because there are just certain things in life that I just do not understand. I've always felt like an outsider, an alien, someone that really shouldn't be here, and I've always had to just kind of disconnect from the regular of what's in the outside world and do my own thing, because it's really the only way I can function. I just went to light the candle behind me. Doesn't really make much difference, but there. Now this is very different to information. For example, you know, my career before YouTube was working in nutrition. I can retain information, but when it comes to instructions and being told what to do and function in a certain way that's being asked of me, I completely shut down. I have zero concept of time. Zero. I mean absolutely zero. Like I can say to my girlfriend, oh, I'm gonna go for a 15-minute walk, and I'll come back an hour later, not real, especially if I haven't been looking at my phone, really thinking that it's been 15 minutes. This plays into my everyday life. Like sometimes I can sit down to edit. Literally many a day all the time. I will maybe start editing around 10, 11 a.m. and then I will suddenly notice that, oh, it's dark. And to me, it feels like I've been working for 1 hour, but I can literally go for 7, 8, 9 hours without realizing that that much time has passed. I really have no concept of time. I never have. Again, this is something that has got me massively in trouble in the past, and I really try my best to set reminders and just be more conscious of it. This one might shock you a bit, especially because I'm a creator and video editor, but I completely forgot what this point was. Yeah, this one might shock you a little bit considering I'm a video editor and creator, but I am the least tech savvy person in the world. You know how you have like parents or grandparents or great grandparents, you know, they don't even know how to use an iPhone properly. I am that person already. The only thing I'm good at and understand very well tech-wise is obviously editing. But even with that, leading back to my first point, because I just don't understand instructions, when I first started this, as in YouTube, I was trying to learn how to edit. I watched probably, not even joking guys, probably 20, 30 tutorials on how to do certain things, how to use certain effects, how to do this, how to do that. Didn't understand anything afterwards. The only way that I learned how to edit, again because my brain just works in such a different way, was just playing around with the software for weeks, if not months, working out everything myself, all the keys, all the shortcuts, all the things. Again, I really struggle to understand instructions. I know it's very strange, but it's true. But yeah, when it comes to tech, I am doomed. I really even struggle how to use my phone properly sometimes. I mean, I use my phone. Obviously, I'm on it all the time. On Instagram. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, that's kind of rude and weird. So can you just like, come and say hi, you know? I am an extremely emotional guy. I'm also an extremely sensitive person. That might be quite the opposite of what you think from what I present, and that is genuinely because I just don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks about me. But when it comes to the people that I'm intimate with in my life, by intimate I don't just mean sexually, I mean people that are close to me, my inner circle, I'm extremely sensitive. I'm very emotional. I cry a lot. If I'm being honest, I cry a lot, like a lot, and I feel like a lot of it is coming from past childhood trauma that I just buried for years when I was numbing myself with substances and stuff. Definitely not afraid to show my feelings, and do you know what, this is something that I feel like is a very good quality amongst all of my very weird unexplained ones. I cry pretty often and I always feel better when I cry. I'm not the kind of guy that would hold their emotions in because I'm afraid of coming across either, I don't know, weak, or, you know, having emotions is definitely not a sign of weakness. I feel like having emotions is a sign of consciousness and being very aware of your external and internal surroundings. So yeah, I guess that's a pretty good quality, and I'm definitely not afraid to admit it. Have I cried on camera before? I don't know. I've definitely cried right before a video and then just filmed and had red eyes. I do sometimes have red eyes for other reasons as well, which we won't get into in this video, but you know what I'm saying. Also, I wanted to tell you that I've had this teddy bear. This is one of my facts, by the way. I've had him since I was the day that I was born, right? And this, my friends, is what you call a real friend. Like, he listens to me, he gets me, he listens to me rant for hours and he doesn't say anything. He just gets it, you know, he understands me on every single level. This right here is what you call a real friend.
You have no idea what I have seen going on in this bedroom. I am forever traumatized. Someone please come and save me from this idiot.
Okay, back to the video. I can't vibe with any kind of modern day music. In my opinion, I know this is a very unpopular opinion, although actually, I feel like with the demographic that watches me, you're probably gonna agree. But music in 2021, in fact, music since 2010 has just been trash. Absolute trash. I don't care what anyone else says, it's a fact. The music that I listen to and really gets me like going and flowing and lawn mowing. Yeah, the music that I still listen to on a daily basis is 90s music. You just cannot compare, or early 2000s. You know, from back in the day, you just can't compare. You know, people like Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Aaliyah, who else back in the day? Missy Elliott, Puff Daddy, Timbaland. Generally, my whole playlist on iTunes is just music from the 90s, early 2000s. Don't get music from today, just don't. I also dropped out of school when I was 13, and obviously that wasn't by choice. I mean, I don't know if kids can do that these days. No one can do that these days by choice, right? You get in trouble. The reason I was pulled out of school when I was 13 was because I was very, very good at a sport. I was very, very good at tennis. I was playing tennis for Great Britain from a very young age. And then I was picked up by a management group when I was 13. Then I was signed and sent over to this training ground in Florida, where I lived between the age of 13 to 17. And yeah, and because I was so good at tennis, my parents very irresponsibly decided to pull me out of school at the age of 13. And since then, I've had no form of formal education at all. I did obviously go back to college and study biomedicine and nutrition. Had to do a kind of like an entry thing to get into the course. And that's where my education really started off again. But yeah, I was pulled out of school at the age of 13. And I guess that kind of just made me feel even more disconnected from the real world, because I didn't have that experience of growing up with school parties. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was always a bit of a party animal and going to clubs from like the age of 14. Don't even ask me how I got in. But yeah, in terms of formal education, I missed out on that whole experience from the age of 13. Which I guess, I don't know, pretty sad, but at the same time I also was able to get this other experience that is priceless, of traveling the whole world and experiencing different cultures from a very, very young age, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, if there's any parents watching this, don't pull your kids out of school at the age of 13, because it will fuck them up and they'll end up like me, and then they will expose themselves on YouTube whilst wearing a red t-shirt. Yeah, this time last year, I made the decision that I would be single for the rest of my life. I had no interest in any kind of serious relationship again, just from really bad experiences in the past, and also the fact that I have terrible issues with getting attached to people and then fear of rejection when I'm really close to someone, because I've lost so many people that are very close to me and I trusted in the past. Got to the point where I was kind of just put myself in a cage where I was like, do you know what, I'm not putting myself out there to get heartbroken again. And I've talked about this before, but like literally this time last year, made a decision, do you know what, I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. I'm going to fuck around, I'm going to have fun, and that's just the way it is. It was kind of a form of protection. But then my girlfriend came along and everything changed. And yeah, I think that's one of the huge things that I've learned in the last year, is that it's safe to be loved. But it really is quite shocking, because the mindset I had a year ago compared to now, like literally I had my walls up. Like anyone that came close to me that was interested or compatible, yeah, I would also show interest back to a certain point. But when it came to anything serious or commitment, like nah, I was out the door. I mean, I know what you guys always thought. One of the comments I used to get on all of my videos before I was in this relationship was, oh, typical Arabic fuckboy, which, number one, I'm not even Arabic. The second part kind of could have made sense at the time, but the reason I was in that state was because I just had my walls up. I was like, there's no way I'm putting myself out there to get hurt again. But then I also did deep down believe in soulmates, and yeah, I'm very blessed that I've met mine now. And this is getting a bit cheesy, but it is what it is. I was given a month to live when I was about 21, 22. I've spoken about this briefly on this channel, but not like in the actual detail of what happened. It was the biggest shock of my life. I was suffering with my health big time, but no one understood why. Then they found out I had a faulty adrenal gland that was producing so much adrenaline, like 25 times the acceptable or normal amount of adrenaline that adrenal glands should produce. And obviously I'm just completely abnormal, so it was out of whack. Because of the high amounts of adrenaline, it started affecting my body completely, and I started collapsing, and then I was diagnosed with a very rare disease called pheochromocytoma. This kind of explained why my whole life up until that age of, I don't know what it was, 21, 22, I was always very restless, couldn't sit still, extremely anxious all the time, like literally just shaking and shaking and shaking. Definitely the biggest shock of my life, because they told me if they didn't basically clamp my adrenal gland and put me on medication to slow my heart down, that the amount of adrenaline that was being produced in my body would give me a heart attack and probably kill me within a month. And I apparently had had this tumor in my body that was producing too much adrenaline for 8-9 years, and it was growing. And the weird thing was that obviously I was in sport. I had had probably 20 full body MRI scans leading up to that. And every single time it was missed. until I almost died. So I used to physically train for up to 7 hours a day. And when I say that, no, I am not exaggerating at all. This is, I guess, why I feel so passionately about people that call themselves athletes on Instagram or on YouTube. Because there is a big difference between an actual athlete and someone that just goes to the gym, you know? My mum goes to the gym. I was gonna say my grandma goes to the gym. She doesn't go anymore because she passed away. But before she did, she went to the gym. Does that make her an athlete? Lifting heavy things or having a six-pack and posting your abs on Instagram doesn't make you an athlete. The place where I used to train at when I was from between the age of 13 to 17, we literally used to go through 7 hours a day of physical training. We used to wake up at about 5 and have to run for an hour, then eat breakfast, then train, and a lot of fitness training like sprints, sand hill sprints, weight training, calisthenics, all of that kind of stuff. Endurance work, strength work, that would be throughout the morning. Eat lunch in the afternoon. I'd be on the tennis court for up to 3 hours in the heat in Florida, training and training and training and drilling. At the time, it was very, very difficult. And actually a couple of times I was pushed too hard and ended up in hospital on a drip because I was so dehydrated and my electrolytes were so low. But guys, that's the extent of what goes on in the world of professional sport. They push you and push you and push you until they almost break you. Because then after you've experienced that, nothing else is hard. And to this day when I train, I have to push myself extremely hard to feel fatigue, because I feel like my threshold for getting tired is almost non-existent. You could say that it broke me at the time, but I guess I could also say that it made me who I am today, and it gave me that inner strength that no matter what is thrown at me, I can fight through it, I can work through it. The extent that I was pushed to, both mentally and physically, again, completely broke me, but also built me to what I am today, which is just a crazy fall. I constantly and consistently get stopped at airports. I don't know what it is about me. Do I have a sign on my head that says that I have a bomb? Do I look like I'm carrying a bomb? I mean, do I look like someone that would be carrying a bomb? Seriously, do I look like the kind of person that would have a bomb? The thing is, I think I kind of do. Honestly, when I'm in the airport, they'll grab my phone and be like, oh, look, can we just, I'm like, it's my phone. Do I really look like that much of a criminal that even my phone has to be like, but every time I go to the airport, I need to get there like 14 hours early, because I just know, as soon as I walk in, it's like they look at me and they're like, yeah, I know this one probably won't surprise you one that much, but I get ID'd everywhere I go. I swear, even if I go to a kiddies theme park, probably gonna get ID'd. But like anywhere you need to go where you have to like look over 21 for sure or whatever, or buy certain things where you have to be over 25. And also just wanted to say, whatever I was buying was for a friend, always. But yeah, if I'm ever buying anything or going to a place where you have to definitely be either over 21 or 25, I am guaranteed to get ID'd. And then I give them my ID, and of course I'm in my 30s now, and in my ID I also have my natural black hair and look a bit different, and so they literally think I'm taking the piss. So certain places I've actually been turned away or denied buying certain things. Again, whatever I was buying was for a friend, because people just don't believe me, and I guess that is a compliment in some kind of way, but it's also very frustrating that I will literally go places with friends that are 5, 6, 7 years younger than me, and I'm the one that constantly gets ID'd. It would just make my life a lot easier if for once people could be like, yeah, he's an adult, you know? But I've literally just spilt my water all over, like, you guys need to see this, hold on. I have literally just spilt water all over the floor. That's talent. Talent right there. I do want to say as well, thank you to everyone that gets me, you know? Like, a lot of you just get me. Like I said, I'm just very misunderstood by a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people come across me and don't understand whether I'm being serious or not. I think sometimes I don't even understand whether I'm being serious or not. But for those of you that like get me, just a huge thank you for your love and your support always. And yeah, I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll see you on the next video. Laters.